Thanks, Jenna.
Controversy now over comments Donald Trump made yesterday at a rally in North Carolina where he was discussing what would happen if Hillary Clinton became president and appointed Supreme Court justices. Here's what he said.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that will be a horrible day.
All right, what do you think of that? Joining us now, Elizabeth Harrington, a staff writer at the Washington Free Beacon, and Aaron Blake, senior politics reporter at the Washington Post. I know that you two come at this with, well, I guess differing views on what you heard. Aaron, what was that from Donald Trump?
Well, it seemed to be him maybe trying to make a joke, a little quip, a kind of a callback to what he had said earlier about her wanting to abolish the Second Amendment. You know, the campaign's defense has been that this was a call that these people should vote against Hillary Clinton. But in his comments, Trump seemed to be talking about a time in which Hillary Clinton was already the president. He said there's nothing you can do about it at that point, before making the remark about the Second Amendment people, quote unquote. So I think his campaign, you know, has chosen to try and defend this, double down on it. They're not even saying it was a bad joke that went awry. They're basically saying that this was just a call for people to go vote, which, like many things over the course of his campaign, seems to be contrary to what he was suggesting.
Democrats pounced on this as being beyond the pale. Chris Murphy, the Democratic senator from Connecticut, wrote this on Twitter. He says, "Don't treat this as a political misstep. It's an assassination threat, seriously upping the possibility of a national tragedy and crisis." And then Elizabeth Warren, who likes nothing better than to spar with Donald Trump, says, "Donald Trump makes death threats because he's a pathetic coward who can't handle the fact that he's losing to a girl." So there you have that. Elizabeth, how do you see it?
I think this is being blown way out of proportion. I think at most this was just Second Amendment boilerplate that you would see from conservatives saying, you know, Democrats are coming for your guns, and we say come and take it. I think it was an off-the-hand comment, and to call this a death threat, I think is way over the top. And the difference here is the media always pounces on Republican gaffes. They did it with Romney. They're doing it here again. But the difference here is now you have Republicans on the right who also will go after Trump for everything. So it really becomes this amplified thing that's a distraction. I mean, it's a shame because for Trump, he should be more precise in his words. But the way that the media and both Republicans and Democrats are pouncing on it is distracting from the biggest news that came out of a rally yesterday, which was Omar Mateen's father that was at Hillary Clinton's rally supporting her. That went under the rug after this happened. Omar Mateen's dad supports the Taliban. Hillary Clinton, all they had to do was come out with a short statement that says we denounce his support. But really, that should have been the major news from a rally, and this really prevented that from happening.
Yeah, Omar Mateen, the father of the Orlando nightclub shooter. Donald Trump, at around 10:21 last night, Eastern Time, put out his own Twitter tweet, I should say, regarding all of this. He says, "Media desperate to distract from Clinton's anti-Second Amendment stance. I said, pro-Second Amendment citizens must organize and get out the vote to save our Constitution." Want to take a look as well at the battleground state polls, where Hillary Clinton is leading in 3 critical states. In Pennsylvania, she's up 48 to 37%. In Ohio, 43 to 38%. And in Iowa, she is leading Donald Trump right now, 41 to 37%. Aaron, again, it doesn't matter so much what the numbers are nationally, and the national numbers don't look good for Trump right now either. But in some of those critical states that you have to win if you want to win the Electoral College, right now, it's not even all that close.
Well, it isn't. We see a clear picture across the country in these states that Hillary Clinton is generally leading, but I do think it's interesting that she's not as ahead by as much in states like Iowa, Ohio, the polling we've seen in Florida in recent days, as we've seen in those national polls where she's up as much by double digits. And so I think really that's kind of a reinforcement of the fact that we are a very polarized country. You know, Hillary Clinton is not a beloved candidate at this point. Her unpopularity is probably going to keep this thing at least close enough in those states where Republicans are not just going to throw in the towel and leave Donald Trump for dead. And so this is something that we're going to continue to see in these swing state polls, is that you know, perhaps this isn't as lopsided as it is on the national level, and that's going to give Trump's campaign an opportunity to argue that this is still a battle worth fighting, which, frankly, given the polls that we saw over the last week, is something that they very much need to be arguing at this point.
Back to those remarks about the Second Amendment, Elizabeth, does Trump gain anything from those remarks? I mean, will Second Amendment voters look at that and say, yeah, Donald Trump gets my vote?
Well, the thing about the Trump campaign statement is he's right. The Second Amendment voting bloc is very powerful. That's why you've seen gun control legislation has not been able to get passed through Congress, because it's a very powerful voting bloc. And I think it does benefit him in a way, because if Hillary Clinton wants to run on a gun control platform, it's very unpopular. And I think that will move voters to support Trump, and that could really energize them.
Elizabeth Harrington at the Washington Free Beacon. Aaron